So about this time last year, I bought a 2012 Lexus GX 460. And naturally, one of the first things I wanted to do was get a cool looking set of wheels and tires for it. But in the process, I discovered that, oh, this is a Lexus, it's full-time four-wheel drive, it has off-road capability. I want to be able to rotate these tires or have a spare in case if I need it when I'm on a long road trip, off-road, if I have a puncture, I want a backup plan. And with a Lexus GX, it's a very, very tight spare tire area. You really only have about an inch or so to play with upsizing your tires. So I wanted to find the perfect balance between what I can fit in my spare and what will look good on the truck and drive well and serve my needs. So I finally settled on the Cooper Discoverer AT3 4S. So it's a kind of a all-season focused all-terrain with high winter capability, which for me in Michigan is perfect. I don't do a lot of off-roading, but now that I have these wheels and tires, I'm going to actively seek out situations where I'll need it. There's a few off-road parks, the dunes in Michigan, and of course, out west trips are always an option. So I wanted to talk about a lot of guys when they modify their trucks, their SUVs for off-road performance, they go with the biggest tire size that they can squeeze under there, but they don't necessarily have a spare tire to match, or they have to put the spare on the trunk, or get a $2,000 metal bumper and put a tire carrier on there. I wanted a solution that was relatively cheap and affordable, that I didn't have to modify the vehicle to go with. But I also want to maintain that spare throughout the rotation of tires. First of all, how often do you recommend rotating tires? I know the standard is kind of 5,000 miles. Is that?
I actually recommend a little bit more often than that in the beginning, and then you can kind of space it out as the tire gets older. When tires are at full tread depth, that's when they're most susceptible to irregular wear. Especially if it's an all-terrain tire, a maximum traction tire, something with bigger tread blocks and more void, because those blocks are moving as they're in contact with the road. Your alignment can be perfect, you can have no vehicular issues, and you can still get irregular wear if you don't rotate regularly enough for that very reason. So I would say for your first 2 rotations, do it at 3,000 miles.
Okay.
The next 2 rotations, go 5,000 miles each. And then after that, 5 to 7 would be good. But like I said, at that very beginning, be diligent about it, because once you have irregular wear on a tire, it doesn't correct itself. We'll see that a lot. People will put 10,000 miles on their tires and think, oh, they're getting loud, and I rotate them and it didn't help, or it made it worse. Maybe they had some irregular wear on the back axle, and then they rotate, and now they bring those 2 irregularly worn tires to the front. Oh my gosh, rotating my tires made the noise worse. Sure. Well, it didn't really make it worse, it just brought the problem, to the forefront.
Okay.
So yeah, be very diligent on your rotation on those tires.
Interesting. I didn't know that's because it makes sense, because the tread blocks are larger, they're moving more, and they're more susceptible to wear. Yep. Why do I want to rotate my 5th spare? Why do I want to include that in my rotation for a full-time four-wheel drive vehicle? How is that going to make my drivetrain happy in the long term?
Sure, yeah. With the proliferation of full-time four-wheel drive instead of a selectable four-wheel drive, and dare I say it, all-wheel drive,
Yes.
crossovers sort of thing, and
Definitely.
people are using those out on off-road or in off-road environment. So yeah. If you rotate in the 5th, your spare, you'll keep all of your tread depths even, which is very, very important. The all-wheel drive system on the vehicle is constantly monitoring the speed at which your tires are rotating, and it wants to keep those even. So if you have 1 tire that is at full tread depth and 3 others that are less than that, noticeably less than that, that 1 tire is going to be rotating at a different speed than the other tires, and your differential, center differential, axle differential, whatever the case may be, depending on the particular all-wheel drive system, it's going to try to compensate for that, and it's going to be continually compensating for that for every mile, every foot that you drive, and that's going to accelerate wear. Different vehicles have, some vehicle manufacturers put a spec on it that it has to be within X 30 of an inch or X percent of tread depth. But even if there isn't a published spec for your vehicle, it's still a good rule of thumb to prevent any kind of excessive early wear on those components.
That makes sense. So take us through the rotation procedure here for a fifth spare.
Sure.
Because looking at some diagrams, is there kind of a general rule that you should follow, and why the rotation procedure is recommended to be this way?
Sure. We can take that to
Let's
the
take it
board.
to the board.
There is a general rule of thumb, and the reason, honestly, that it's recommended to be this way is just so all 5 tires end up with the same amount of wear. So if you're doing a standard rearward cross, what would normally happen is your front tires would cross to the rear, and then your rear tires would just move straight forward, but that wouldn't take the spare tire into consideration. So what we do is your front tire crosses to the rear, your front passenger side tire crosses to the rear, your spare goes to the right rear, and then the front driver's side tire becomes the spare. And then these two, of course, go straight forward as they would with a standard rearward cross. And if you follow that pattern every time you rotate, that allows all 5 tires to get the same amount of wear, also to experience every tire position on the vehicle, because even if your alignment is within factory spec, there's going to be differences in the way each corner wears. Don't think that, both front tires get the same amount of wear. They don't. It won't be exact. The way you drive, the roads that you drive, the natural tendency of the vehicle, even people with directional and staggered tires, for example, they should still rotate if they can by flipping the tires on the wheels and switching across the axle.
To me, this makes a lot of sense because in Michigan, as our viewers will know, there are a lot of entrance and exit ramps, and those are the only turns that we have in Michigan.
Yeah.
And that front driver's side tire is seeing so much more wear and so much more abuse than all of the others. So it really makes sense to say, here's the tire with the greatest tread depth when you start off. Let's put it on this passenger rear where it's really not seeing a whole lot of action, and put that front back in the spare, and then rotate everything else out accordingly.
Yep.
So if you can't remember the exact rotation pattern and procedure, think of that in mind, and that should keep you on the right track. So,
bingo.
Okay, cool. I like that. And there's a lot of reasons why this is important, but I think it's just a good general rule of thumb, especially if you're going to be taking your vehicle on long road trips, on off-road paths, on access roads, in any situation where you could potentially have a puncture. You never know what happens. Tires can be magnets for road debris, metal shards, nails, whatever. No tire is completely impervious to damage. So I think I'm very happy with the decisions that the research on Tire Rack helped me get to, and we'll see how it goes with rotations, but it's very interesting because I didn't know you should rotate more heavily on the beginning of the tire's life.
Early in life, yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So as we've learned, there are a ton of reasons why you want to put this into effect with your 5 tires on your crossover, your all-wheel drive vehicle, your full-time 4-wheel drive vehicle. One of which is it maintains the performance of the tire throughout its life, and all of those tires have the same performance because they have the same tread depth. And they're all getting used, and the oils through them are continuing, maybe reducing dry rot and stuff too with the spare. But there's also a financial incentive to keep this going. If you get a flat or a puncture that can't be repaired, you don't have to go buy a whole new set of tires. You can utilize that spare and maybe even get away with it for the rest of that tire's life or that set's life. I want to thank TJ at Tire Rack for helping us kind of demystify this 5-tire rotation, which when I'm looking at it online, I'm looking at all the arrows and things, it's a little bit complicated, but if you think of it with this framework, it makes a lot more sense. So thanks for watching, guys. We hope this was helpful. We'll see you in the next video.